Stay consistent. Always keep them updated and let them know you working.
Samuel Garcia, aka Trill Sammy, Houston, Texas, active since 2015. By 2015, the underground music scene was going through a full-blown shift. The old gatekeepers were crumbling and SoundCloud was becoming the new radio. Teenage rappers with little more than a phone and a beat could now spark regional fire, and no one embodied that sudden explosion better than Houston's own Trill Sammy. A melodic voice with just the right amount of auto-tune, a clean look that drew in younger crowds, and cosigns from Houston legends all added up to what many believed would be the city's next star. But somewhere between the viral buzz and the long-awaited breakout, the momentum stalled and Trill Sammy quietly became a name people remembered more than they played. At just 17, Trill Sammy burst onto the scene with a freestyle over Future's Free Code that spread like wildfire on Twitter. The energy felt authentic, the style was ahead of its time, and most importantly, the youth saw themselves in him. He followed it up with songs like Just Watch with Dice Soho and Trappin, both of which helped build a loyal online following. Sammy's rise wasn't tied to a specific region either. He was one of those early hybrid artists who lived online, where cosigns from Slim Thug, Designer, and Soulja Boy mattered more than radio spins. In a time where being internet savvy could outrun traditional artist development, Sammy seemed like the perfect storm. But as fast as he appeared, the shine seemed to fade. In 2016, a viral clip surfaced of Sammy getting jumped and robbed after a show in North Carolina, with his chain taken and the footage spreading instantly online. For an artist still in the image-building phase of his career and without the charisma to spin the story into his favor, the optics were damaging. The rap game has never been forgiving when it comes to public losses, especially having your chain snatched as a street rapper. But truthfully, even though tragic, the issues ran deeper than just that moment. Today, Trill Sammy is still making music. He's dropped sporadic singles, and fans from that 2015-16 era still check in. But the days of mainstream anticipation have long passed, and he remains a reminder of just how fragile early internet fame can be. The rise was fast, but the fall came quicker, and in the end, Trill Sammy never fully grew into the artist the early hype promised. What happened? Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Trill Sammy is a Houston-based rapper who first gained attention in 2015 after posting a freestyle over Future's Free Code on Twitter. The clip went viral, showcasing a young artist with natural charisma and a modern melodic flow that felt tailor-made for the SoundCloud era. He quickly followed up with Trappin and Just Watch featuring Dice Soho, two tracks that expanded his buzz and introduced him to a wider audience. His ability to blend street energy with catchy, accessible hooks made him one of the more promising artists coming out of Texas at the time. He released his debut project Red Album in 2016, followed by No Sleep Volume 1 in 2018. Though the projects had solid tracks, they failed to produce a breakout hit. Still, with growing cosigns and an active fan base online, it seemed only a matter of time before Trill Sammy crossed into mainstream success. Stunt number 1, no breakout hit. One of the biggest hurdles in Trill Sammy's rise was his inability to deliver a true breakout hit. While songs like Just Watch, Check Out, and Do Not Disturb gained regional traction and built him a loyal following online, none were strong enough to carry him beyond the internet bubble. They were catchy, but lacked the staying power or crossover appeal needed to solidify a long-term career. In an era where one viral song could instantly launch an artist into the spotlight, Sammy's momentum was built on a series of small wins instead of one defining moment. This put him in a tricky position. Without a charting single or anthem that the average listener could attach to, labels, playlists, and mainstream media had little reason to keep him in rotation. His projects didn't lack potential. Red Album and No Sleep Volume 1 had solid production and memorable hooks, but they didn't produce anything that could survive beyond a first listen. As other artists in his lane like Lil Uzi Vert, Playboi Carti, and eventually Juice WRLD began to dominate streaming and playlists, Sammy's wave slowly got swallowed. It's not common for early internet stars to plateau without a breakout moment, but in Sammy's case, the timing made it more costly. He emerged during a moment where melodic trap was exploding and the space was quickly overcrowded. A major hit could have separated him from the pack, but without one, he became just another name in a growing list of artists who went viral briefly but never fully stuck. Trill Sammy had the look, the style, and even the right features, but without a defining song to cement his place, his career hovered in limbo, never quite fading but never fully taking off either. Stunt number 2, Image Damage and the Chain-Snatching Incident. In 2016, Trill Sammy found himself in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. While performing in Greensboro, North Carolina, a fight broke out during his set that ended with Sammy being jumped and having his chain snatched. Within hours, video footage of the incident hit the internet. Clips showed Sammy on the ground surrounded by multiple people, and soon after, photos of the stolen chain began circulating online. In hip-hop, especially in the street influence lane Trill Sammy operated in, these kind of moments can be fatal to an artist's image. Rather than gain sympathy, the public response leaned toward mockery. Memes spread, comment sections filled with jokes, and as much as the rap industry has evolved, it still holds on to certain unspoken rules. One of them being that public humiliation, especially without immediate retaliation or narrative control, can severely damage credibility. Sammy would do his best to downplay the incident. He posted online that he was okay and even showed off a new chain not long after. But the internet never forgets, and this moment lingered over his brand. What made it worse was that Sammy was still in the early stages of building his core fanbase. He hadn't established himself deeply enough for people to separate the music from the incident. When the most viral moment of your career is a loss, especially in the eyes of the culture, it can overshadow the music no matter how good it is. While it's unfair to judge a young artist off one mistake or moment, perception is everything in entertainment. The incident marked a shift in how Sammy was viewed, no longer as an untouchable rising star, but as someone vulnerable to the pitfalls of fame. And in a space as competitive and ruthless as rap, that's a hard image to shake. Stunt number 3, Inconsistency and Loss of Momentum. Another key factor in Trill Sammy's stunted growth was his inconsistent output and lack of a clear direction after his initial rise. In the early stages of an artist's career, especially one born from the fast-paced world of social media, momentum is everything. For Sammy, the buzz was there, the spotlight was waiting, but the follow-through never fully materialized. After a string of well-received singles and his debut Red album in 2016, fans expected a steady climb. Instead, they got sporadic drops, long gaps between releases, and very little branding or storytelling to tie it all together. By the time No Sleep Volume 1 dropped in 2018, much of the energy surrounding his name had cooled. The project featured notable production and appearances from artists like Offset, Moneybagg Yo, and J.I.D., but the lack of promotion, visual rollouts, or cohesive vision made it feel like just another mixtape lost in the shuffle. Sammy never fully capitalized on his early wins by crafting a deeper identity or message that fans could connect to beyond the music. In an era where personality and presence often matter just as much as sound, this left him vulnerable to being forgotten. Meanwhile, artists he once stood beside continued growing. Dice Soho, with whom he shared early success, went on to explore new sounds and scenes. Other melodic rappers from the SoundCloud class built cult followings or pivoted into new styles. Sammy, by contrast, seemed stuck in limbo, too known to be considered underground, but not active or consistent enough to remain in the conversation. Whether due to personal issues, industry politics, or creative fatigue, Sammy's drop-off in visibility cost him dearly. In music, especially rap, people move on fast, and without a steady stream of content or evolution, Trill Sammy slowly became a footnote in a wave he once helped start. All in all, Trill Sammy's story is a reflection of how quickly things can shift in the music industry, especially in the internet age. He had the look, the sound, and the timing to be something bigger, but a combination of missed opportunities, public missteps, and inconsistency derailed what once felt like a promising career. His rise was fueled by the speed of social media, but without a breakout hit or clear artistic direction to sustain it, the momentum eventually faded. To his credit, Sammy never completely disappeared. He continued to release music sporadically, occasionally reconnecting with longtime collaborator Dice Soho and maintaining a loyal base of fans who still believe in his potential. But the buzz he once had is now just a memory, one that reminds us how fast a door can open and how faster it close. Salute, much respect, but for these reasons, his growth was stunted. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth Music, and I'm out.